1,000 North Koreans have been wounded. The dictator Kim Jong-un could be gearing up to send additional troops to the idea. What does he care? Less mouths to feed. The heavy losses, which may include North Korean generals, were reported by South Korea's National Intelligence Service to the nation's lawmakers behind closed doors on Thursday, reports the Telegraph. The North Korean troops have become burdens for the Russian allies because they know nothing about drones, South Korean politician Lee Sung-won told reporters after the intelligence briefing. And as reports emerged of significant North Korean lawsuits, said the Russians are also trying to literally burn their faces off. But they killed North Korean soldiers. North Korean troops accidentally killed them. Here's the problem. These North Koreans, to the extent they've been trained in tactics that were mostly used in World War II, or in their case, the Korean War, with obsolete weapons. You say they look in the skies, drones. They've never seen drones before. They don't know how to deal with modern technology, either to use it or to defend against it. So this is their problem. Kingdom leader is reportedly planning an inspection of his country's special operations forces, which could be dispatched to Ukraine as additional forces. The Ukrainian Military Intelligence Agency also revealed today that North Korean troops have erected additional observation posts forces of Ukraine. The agency said that Russia will continue sending North Korean troops to Kursk not to lose the pace of offensive actions. That's what's going on there. So they're getting their asses kicked. By the way, the Ukrainians are developing a new private laser weapon. This is technology I believe given to that is the part of the British. This is a laser weapon that can take out aircraft over a mile away. I've been saying to friends and family, lasers are the next cutting edge technology. You won't need missiles to take out missiles. You'll need lasers to take out missiles. And they're focusing heavily on lasers, mobile lasers, use them on tanks or personnel carriers, or use them on jets and so forth. That would be a game changer. Hypersonic missile. Guess what? Lasers are faster and more accurate than hypersonic missiles, but they're very fast and very accurate. I'll be right back. The markets are volatile. Only to drop without warning. The Fed just got raised again, this time by a quarter point. Why? Because the Federal Reserve is not confident the economy is strong. In fact, last month only 12,000 jobs were created, all of them in the government. That's why I'm telling you again, diversification is crucially important. And diversification with gold is what I do. And the company I use, and I've used many, the best one is Advantage Gold. Call them now at 800-908,000 for a free gold investment kit. When it comes to gold, I trust Advantage Gold. They're one of the top gold companies in America. They're who I turn to when I purchase gold. Call them now, 800-908,000. Call 800-908,000 now for a free gold investment kit to see how gold can help you with your investment portfolio, aka your bank accounts, your paycheck. And when you do, you can qualify for $1,000 in free silver. That's 800-908,000. Folks, don't wait. Call them now, 800-908,000, and tell them Mark Levin sent you. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
On Route 50 eastbound, there is a crash just before Landover Road. Traffic is very slow from Kenilworth Avenue. Onto the Beltway inner loop in College Park. Slow from Route 1 to the BW Parkway. Inner loop of the Beltway in Camp Springs, there is a crash right at Branch Avenue. Traffic is jammed from Allentown Road. Now on the outer loop of the Beltway in Landover, stop and go from Medical Center Drive to Route 50. And in Bethesda on the outer loop, you'll find it slow from River Road to the...
And you post it. 429. Well, Chell ended up timing me out. Rob come in there, so I can't troll Rob. They won't let me troll Rob. He comes in, right? And Chell timed me out, so I left. I got fucking timed out. I don't know how long he did it for. I'm not going back and check. I'm fucking done. Did my thing. I made JT show up there and got it all fucking going. Yeah, that went over really well. JT's madder than a fucker right now. He's pissed. JT will never recover from this. You'll never recover from this, JT. And thanks for timing me out, Chell. Oh, don't spam the chat. Can't just leave it alone. That's what I mean, JC. Those, that's fucked up, JC. Chell fucking timed me out on behalf of fucking King Rob. That fucking acid drip. He's fucking, he's worse than Rusty is. Yeah, I meant what I said about Wolfie. I've had it now. I don't care if she adores me or not. It's fucking bunch of goddamn hypocrites. Fucking Gotti come up here. I let that fucker up here and he using her name and everything. And he thinks it's funny. Come play me again, Gotti. Come on. Come on, Gotti. Come play me again. How about you, Rusty? No, that ilk over there.
Don't understand.
No, why you got to stick your nose in? What the fuck is the matter with you? You can't. The hell is like, oh, you're spamming. Yeah, you fuckers support logical. You won't never come over here, you fucking chicken shit motherfuckers.
No, we can have a healthier baby. At March of Dimes, baby died.
Well, Rain, you turned out to be a fucking piece of shit too. Unfucking believable. Yeah. I went to my other channel. I tried to download it. I did this one first. I should have. I'll have the right email, and I didn't write it down. I did. I don't know where the fuck it is. Right? And if they don't get that computer working, I don't know. They did it before. Once you make a new account, they won't let you make another one that same day. You got a hold on that. Not even making an account. I just trying to recover an account. Right? I should be able to recover. I've recovered accounts. I recover accounts all the time. Well, I have because bought new phones. So this one I only have 20 hours on. That's all right. I can spread it out. Hopefully by this time tomorrow night I'll be able to download the other one. I have two accounts. If I can't recover that other one, I'm gonna have to fucking buy a new one. I don't give a fuck. If I want to do that, I'll do that.
Doing okay? You're very busy? You're always busy.
Well, anyways, a bunch of North Koreans found dead in Ukraine or some shit going on. I was missing the news being in JC's chat.
Remain higher than ever. A lot of people, maybe many of you are maxing out on your credit cards. 25-30% interest. It's crazy. You feel you're at a dead end, you're in a debt spiral. Now's the perfect time to take control of your finances and pay off that debt, folks.
I'm gonna make some coffee.
American Finance.
Get some water.
unlock the equity in your home where you can really start saving real money. The Fed just cut rates again by 1/4 point. They're very worried about the economy. We should all be worried about the economy. It was almost now the 12th day in a row, I think, maybe 11, for the stock market to go down, but it saved itself by like 15 points, which means barely. Barely. Tough times ahead. Even when President Trump is born in, it takes time to make changes that have an effect and resonate throughout our huge economy. Democrats are already talking about tax increases, that they're going to block any extension of the Trump tax cuts from several years ago, which means your taxes will go through the roof. While they're talking about billionaires, they mean you. Are you a billionaire? American financing, they can help you unlock the equity in your home. Maybe you'll pay 1.5%. Who knows? Instead of 25 and 30%, and $10,000. And that refi is tax deductible. And their customers are saving $900 on average a month, over $10,000 a year. Imagine if you could have that money in your pocket. It's all your money. It just depends where you want to put it. You want to put it in your savings account? You want to have it for your family and your needs? Or do you want to give it to the credit card companies and the banks? It's up to you. And if you act now, you can even delay 2 mortgage payments, giving you extra cash for these holidays. Wouldn't it be nice to start off the new year without the debt of those monthly minimum payments and that incredibly outrageous interest rate for credit cards? Here's something else. It costs nothing to find out how much you can save. Nothing. By just calling. No obligation. Holidays are here in 6 days. 6 days. January 1st is here. 12 days. Can you imagine getting out of this debt? Contact their salary-based mortgage consultants today for in American Financing. They're serious about helping. So call American Financing today. 888-900-1828. They're there right now. 888-900-1828. Hello. 888-900-1828. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 18334.
There you go. Left-wing rag, website operation, and rare move. Republican senators call for Hegseth's FBI report. I told you we're not out of the woods with this yet. The Senate Armed Services Committee usually limits who can view these types of background checks. Lawmakers want to see this one. Writes Joe Gould. Senators are pushing to see the FBI's background check on Pete Hegseth. A rare move for the committee to oversee this confirmation. And some of the former Fox News host faces hurdle still in the Senate and from Republicans. Unlike some other committees, the Senate Armed Services usually limits access to these types of background checks to its 2 lead senators, but pressure is building for both Democrats and Republicans to provide more lawmakers with the ongoing report, whose contents could determine whether Hegseth makes it in the Pentagon. This is political. Susan Collins. It would be helpful. It would be helpful, given the allegations that have been lodged against Mr. Hegseth, to be able to see the FBI background check. She's a swing vote. She's a swinger. Yes. Senators have various motives for seeking the report. Some Republicans, such as Collins and North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis. Always unreliable, that Tom. They say the claims are serious enough to warrant greater access to the findings. Well, it's unlikely the FBI findings would be made public. They could still give Republican senators political cover to vote against Hegseth's support for his defense. I've encouraged all the nominees, number one, be upfront on the FBI background check, and you want that information shared at least with committee members. No, you don't. You're all skunks. You're losers. You're untrustworthy. You're leakers. Among other reasons. The FBI's background investigation is expected to thoroughly examine Hegseth's personal and professional history, including interviews with associates, reviews of financial records, and queries into past legal issues. And we can all trust the FBI, can't we, America? Tommy Tillis there. He's a big truster of the FBI. Can I say truster? Sure. Trump's big argues he's nothing to hide. Mr. Hegseth not only welcomes but looks forward to the FBI background check, said Hegseth advisor Arthur Schwartz. Hey, Arthur. The allegations of sexual, and then you go on about the allegations. Reid is facing pressure. The chair of the committee, Reid of Rhode Island, another left-wing kook, ranking member Mississippi Senator Roger Wicker, complete weakling. By arrangement with the White House, the two senators typically review FBI reports on nominees without staff present and consult with the administration if they want to release them more widely. But Reid's facing pressure from at least 8 Senate Armed Services Democrats. Richard Blumenthal, puke. Tim Kaine, puke. Tammy Duckworth, puke. Mark Kelly, puke. Elizabeth Warren, Marxist. Shaheen, puke. Macy Hirono, Marxist. Christine Gillibrand, fraud, phony. Dane Senator Angus King, Maine Independent, aka left-wing Democrat, said they want the report released to all committee members, and then they're going to start leaking. That's what they're going to do. Reid acknowledged the growing calls for transparency, but didn't say which way he's leaning. Everybody wants to look at it, he said. That's a decision that has to be made by myself, Senator Wicker, and the White House. Said that if Reid and Wicker wanted to break with the norm, go back and renegotiate with the incoming Trump administration. Well, it's a stickler, that one. Blumenthal went further. He said he wants senators involved in all confirmation hearings to see the findings. The FBI report ought to be shared with the entire committee. Oh, great. So let's change the rules now when Trump's in power. Republicans, too, are weighing in. Senator Tommy Tuberville, Republican Alabama Trump ally, simply said, I'm going to see it. But some Senate Armed Services Republicans said they want to defer. I don't think we need to make any special exceptions on any of this, said Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. Good guy, by the way. I don't know him. I can see he's a good guy. If we didn't do it for the Biden administration, we shouldn't do it for the Trump administration. Amen. Well said. And he's right. He's 100% right. It's all a load of crap. They get access to it, they're going to leak it. And why should they change the rules? For Pete Hegseth. But not for the Biden people. Biden's administration was loaded with freaks, frauds, and phonies. Him being one of them, of course. I'm holding in my hand right here. An amazing device. The Cardia 6L. I have the Cardia 6L. What's the Cardia 6L? Well, first, did you know that more strokes occur between November and February than any other 4-month period? That means now. Now. The holidays can be a time of stress, disrupted routines, overindulgence. So there's no better time to do something really easy to manage your heart health at home between doctor's visits, even while traveling. And you're talking to somebody or listening to somebody who knows what he's talking about. Cardia Mobile 6L. Cardia Mobile 6L. Small, it's medical grade, personal EKG device. It records right to your phone. It records 6 lead EKGs in seconds. 6 lead. It is FDA cleared to detect AFib, a leading cause of stroke. You slip it right in your pocket, put it in your purse, put it in your glove compartment. Simple. You're probably thinking, well, who can afford that? The answer is you can afford it, thanks to Cardia Mobile. Cardia Mobile 6L records 6 times the heart data that any smartwatch records at a fraction of the cost. That's why it's called 6L, 6 lines. And now through the end of the year, you can get Cardia Mobile 6L, only $109. Folks, that's nothing for heart health. Just go to Cardia.com, that's Kardia, hello, Kardia.com, and order your Cardia Mobile 6L today. That's Kardia.com. Order your Cardia Mobile 6L today. With this limited time offer, there's no better time to take care of your heart health than this holiday season. It's a fantastic small device. It's so technologically cutting edge, and it can help save you. Sponsored by LiveCore. I'll be right back.
What?
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
Updating you on the stories happening while you work. Apparently, Joe Biden was talking about artificial intelligence. He claims he saw an AI video of himself recently.
Vince Callahan.
Here he is at the White House.
Deepfakes use AI-generated audio and video to smear reputations, spreads fake news, and commit fraud.
Oh my gosh. Can the AI video speak in complete sentences? That'd be an improvement over the real thing.
Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
Vince Callahan,
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
We're the stronger than we look type.
I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 2.
The braver than you think type.
I have to take insulin shots every single day.
The type that will stop at nothing.
No more blood sugar tests.
Absolutely nothing.
No more complications.
Until type 1 becomes type none.
Support JDRF's life-changing research, and one day you'll say, I helped turn type 1 into type none. Join us now at jdrf.org.
Do you crave the thrill of the clothes? Want to be a legend? Benevolent Media Dallas, home of award-winning New Country 96.3 KNCS and 99.5 The Wolf KPLX, is searching for a general sales manager to manage 2 of the top stations in the market. We offer a competitive salary, amazing benefits, and a chance to be part of a winning team. Ready to join the force? Visit cumulusmedia.com/careers to apply. That's cumulusmedia.com/careers. Cumulus Media is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Making sense of Washington.
Be the one to speak the truth on this. Mark Levin, weekdays 6 to 9 p.m. We're living in crazy land.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of party politics.
Mark Levin.
This is why people don't have trust in their government. Weekdays 6 to 9 p.m. This is the unvarnished truth.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
What would you give for a child you love to make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no coverage at all. These days, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of the biggest expenses can be your car, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan. You could save thousands with one call to CarShield. Call 800-898-6155 now to see if you qualify. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Repairs for your engine, transmission, and more.
Eating a Pop-Tart.
Call 800-898-6155 right now and get.
VB is reminiscent of what the younger generation is like today. The 2 younger generations, anyways. All right. They feel like they can do things without impunity. And if you call them out on something that, VB, like calling Wiggin a liar. You're the liar, VB. You're over there supporting a fucking... There's no bigger doxer out here than Rusty. She's the best at it. She's the best at this, streaming, right? She knows her way all around that fucking laptop, right? She's got a problem. Chell, timing me out just shows how childish and petty you really are, Chell. You don't even know me, Chell. You guys harbor fucking hatred because you fucking fear the unknown. The fucking Gotti come up here and put her name No, doing it on purpose, taunting me. Come up and taunt me again, Gotti. Come on. Because I will let Wiggin up here and fucking crush you. You're chicken shit, Gotti. And you're a fucktard, Rusty. And JT, you're a little fucking punk. Whether JC hates me or not, I have to believe her in some of the things she says. Obviously, you're going to like somebody if they're being nice and jovial and, not lashing out at people. That's all Rusty does is lash out. That's all your chat is right now, JT, is lashing out. You heard JC talk about it today, earlier, just a little while ago. Right? She learned, she changed. She's seen, you have to adapt, which you can't, JT. Neither can you, VB. It's virtuous about you, VB. VB says her dad was in the Navy. I don't believe it. Protected Rob Noxious. Yeah, in her chat. That's why you don't see me in her chat when she goes live out. You're fucking idiot. You had my picture up there. The old white man for Harris. Yeah, well, what happened to Harris? She says she doesn't go up on panos to argue. Well, VB, you're getting roasted in here tonight because the boys are here. Rusty claims she's untrollable. I'm untrollable, says VB. Want to bet? I ain't watching JC's. I got timed out and I did my part. Oh, forgot my other phone. Well, I need my other device.
For strict standards for vehicle emissions. California's long-standing authority to request waivers from the EPA to protect its residents from dangerous air pollution coming from local sources.
After what was said on Zenny's, your acid trip is, hey, Zenny, are you going to come in here and tell your punk friend to fucking get out of my chat or be nice? Zenny, I know you're around. Are you going to tell your fucking friend Acid Drip to knock it off? Zenny. Right? And Wolfie didn't respond to me at all on that fucking panel. So fuck you guys. Fuck you.
Rescinded California's authority on emissions in 2019, only to be reversed 3 years later by Biden, meathead. That year, the blue state banned the sale of new gas-powered cars by 2035. Used gas-powered cars could still be driven and sold under the policy, like Cuba, where they have 1957 Chevys. Ford, Honda, Volkswagen, and other major automakers are meeting California emission standards, but some major car companies question the latest EPA waiver. Achieving the sales mandates under current market realities looks like a miracle. There needs to be a balance. Some states should exit the California program, Alliance for Automotive Innovation CEO John Bozella said. Most of these states, Democrat states, have adopted California's rules, are not selling anywhere near 35% level EV sales required next year. Much of the sales of certain cars are required. Does that sound like a free
electric vehicle is useless where I live.
Basin, a spokesman for Toyota North America, worried the new rules will leave some consumers without the ability to purchase a vehicle that fits.
You'll fucking freeze to death.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I have nothing to do with electric vehicles. If you want to buy one, buy one. But I want distance.
There ain't no heat in them things.
I want access to fuel quickly. I don't want to wait in lines. I want to be looking for a charging station. A story for you 2 nights ago about how the electrical grid cannot handle this, according to a nonprofit organization that oversees electrical use and consumption and regulation. He said, we can't do it. It's not going to work. But there's Gavin Newsom, as dumb as a doorknob. There he is. But you notice his affectations when he talks. He thinks he's Bill Clinton. He's got these massive hands. He's got this pencil neck, this big bobblehead. He says, oh, he looks the part of an actor. No, if you're looking at a science fiction movie, maybe he looks the part of an actor. But his hands are waving around in his arms like Bill Clinton used to. He's so adroit. He's so whatever. He's a schmuck. But the bottom line is, we're all going to have brownouts and blackouts. These blue states, they're filled with stupid representatives and bureaucrats. Let's see, what else here? EPA groups killed the Biden administration's action. Of course they did. There's nobody dumber than these so-called environmental groups. They are a degrowth movement. They're destroying our prosperity, our growth. They're destroying our capitalist system. They're imposing these egghead ideas that are destructive, that are driving up your cost. Other than that, they're great. I'll be right back.
Making sense of your world. Appreciate what you do. You stock 105.9 W.
How about it, Zen? Is your boy gonna come in my chat again and doing what he just did? Huh? Zen. Rusty's a bad look for you, Zen. You too, Wolfie. Fuck you, Wolfie. Yeah, you're a backstabber. I don't know. I'm asking for my phone number. Huh? You are. You're fucking, you're Lady Catfish. You attract the fucking smart ones, that's for sure. JT never had a father to take him fishing. His mother fucking stuck a Game Boy in his fucking hand his whole life. They become addicted to the computer. Hey, JT, there's people in the military are way out better at this than you are. Just think about your peers serving in the military so you can have your freedom out here and be a suck fuck. Huh? Many people come before you, JT. You think you're fucking just started the world. You got them fucking chips on your shoulder. Did you get them from VB? Those chips on your shoulder there, JT? You think you're growing up, man? You think you're fucking ready for the big leagues? I was ready stepping into this. I was fucking born to do this shit right here. Now, I might not be technical like some of them. I'm not making fancy fucking videos and shit. I do good enough right here. Hopefully, JC will compensate for me being timed out when I was in her chat if I go back to her chat. I'm not going to. I'll let her take care of her fucking. She does. I brought him in there. As soon as I got up on fucking JC's panel, JT just couldn't help himself. There he comes. Can't blame JC for letting him up. Yeah, you fucking let him gang up on me. JC's panel, I ain't fucking afraid of that. None of them gangs. There ain't no gang mentality here. I can make it, though. I do have support.
work in which had the input of Republicans and Democrats, their interests, their concerns.
You only need two people to make a gang. That's all it takes. Two people. All right, can be a one-man gang, Bam Bam Bigelow.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said Republicans are breaking their word and putting forward a bill that paves the way for tax breaks for billionaires. In Manhattan for Luigi Mangione, the suspect in the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO.
Yeah, old fucking Patrick Rowe doing what I did in Facebook on Messenger, making comments on people's videos and shit. Mine, though, it was in, I went to Al Sharpton's website. Let's see, last time I went live, I was live for an hour and I shut it down just to go live.
He also faces in New York and in Pennsylvania unrelated to the shooting. President Biden will travel to Italy next month to meet with Pope Francis and top Italian officials. Expected to be the final international trip of his presidency. America is listening to Fox News.
Upgrading downtown ASAP.
I hope V-Cash is on the right side. I know he's fucking he's besties with Logical. They're all troll buddies.
The official beginning of work with the ceremonial first swing of demolition.
It is good. It's good for our residents. It's good for local business, and indeed, it is good for our entire region.
Like a Wiggins getting right into this now, aren't you, boy? Yeah, she did a beautiful job up there, Wiggin. Proud of you.
Virginia.
Government agencies are already preparing.
JT is officially triggered. That boy is fucking mad. He's fucking trying so hard to make JC bend. That's a fucking... Fucking, you're a lost cause, JT. You want to get right down to it. JC is the original Billy's Angel. She's where it's all started, back in that fucking CNN chat. I see that name. Says she lives in Ottawa, and I start talking to her. Just to making fucking idle chit chat. Hey, let's go to Akwesasne. You like to gamble? Now, naturally, a woman's going to think, oh, this guy wants to pork me. Fucking pervert. He's taunting. I did it. You can't do nothing about it. Yeah, we can. I already have. I'll tell you right now, Rusty's probably not very happy. Things are not going her way. And JT ain't building no chat. You fucking shot yourself right in the foot. JT, you really did. See, unlike you, JT, I'm not needy. And I'm not greedy. Gotti's greedy. Rusty is greedy. Your girlfriend's greedy. And then you have acid drip. What are you going to do about him, Zenny? We'll see if he comes back in my chat. I'll keep my mouth shut if he doesn't. But I know he's watching. Yeah. Rusty sits there and watches, like JC does. You guys complain about JC watching all the chats to see who's saying what. Rusty does the same shit. It's fucking 6 to 1, half dozen the other. Yeah. I don't play favorites. I do what's right. That's the right thing to do. That's why my stream is going to last. And has lasted. Even if I sit here with only one person watching, I don't give a fuck. I got the radio to listen to. I fucking roll a joint. Yesterday, I fucking made a drink. I got so happy, I fucking knocked that motherfucker right on my other computer. And fucking everybody. Andy, where are you? You kept posting martini and a laptop.
Stage. Did we just hit a million?
Matty Ice. If you're not Matt Galligan, I'm sure Wigan knows who you are. Just to make you wonder. I don't usually buy them, but I like cherry Pop Tarts or brown sugar and cinnamon. I don't know. I haven't seen Mary Burney on JT's chat too much. Of course, I really ain't been watching, but they'd be talking about it.
877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. I bet you haven't heard this lately. The Keystone Institute. This is a great organization. It's an international policy council based in New York. It's a great organization. Our friend Mimi's over there does a tremendous job. Iran-affiliated Venezuelan gangs invited into the United States. Robert Williams. Border Patrol zones across Texas, Arizona, and California had no agent presence for weeks and months at a time. Those who did not want to be caught could simply walk in. We have no idea who and what entered our country over this time, said Aaron Hepke, retired chief patrol agent for the San Diego sector of the U.S. Border Patrol, testimony before the U.S. House Committee on Homeland Security. He said simultaneous financial increase in special interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. I was told I couldn't get information on this increase in special interest aliens or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public that there was no threat at the border. Folks, more than 500,000 Venezuelans have entered the United States illegally since Biden took office in January 2021. According to the Federation for American Immigration Reform, FAIR, over 500,000. Until Biden became president, few Venezuelans arrived illegally. Only about 4,500 arrived in 2020, Trump's last year. Now 500,000. After Biden's inauguration, numbers exploded. 51,000 Venezuelans illegally entered in 2021. Another 190,000 in 2022. A whopping 335,000 in 2023. And I remind you again, in 2020, 4,500. More than 2 decades, Venezuela has been a close ally of Iran and a regional home base for Hezbollah, Iran's proxy in the Middle East. Hezbollah, according to the 2020 Atlantic Council report, helped to turn Venezuela into a hub for the convergence of transnational organized crime and international terrorism. And that's what we're now seeing in our own country because of these damn fools. Iran's Quds Force is a subsection of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, I should say. Quds Force runs Iran's terrorist operations abroad. It established operations in Latin America with Venezuela's support during the Hugo Chavez regime, 1999 to 2013. Noted Jorge Serrano, a security expert and member of the team of advisors to Peru's Congressional Intelligence Commission. Iranian Quds Force has a local unit in Venezuela, Unit 840, which recruits and relies on local criminal groups to conduct assassinations and kidnappings. According to Alejandro Casiglia, an expert in terrorism and organized crime, professor at the University of Buenos Aires in Argentina, it's crucial to recognize that these groups are dedicated to the hybrid warfare, cyber intelligence, and terrorist attacks. The presence of Iran and the Quds Force in Latin America is not just a potential risk, but a palpable reality. These criminals have total freedom of movement in the region. They have Venezuelan passports and are usually of Lebanese or Persian origin. The enemy within, invited by the enemy within, Biden and company. Now, one of these groups is the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, described as a mega gang or conglomerate of different criminal groups by Transparencia Venezuela, an NGO that notes the gang is the largest, most powerful organization in Venezuela with more than 4,000 criminals. It's been described as MS-13 on steroids, and they're now in 20 of our states. They weren't even here 5 years ago. They're now in 20 of our states. The state of Texas has designated Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization, according to Serrano. The gang has Iran's support. They forged strategic alliances with Russia, China, and North Korea. Thank you, Joey. Corn Pop. In July, a federal memo said that Tren de Aragua, that gang, had been given the green light by its leaders to attack and open fire on cops in Denver, according to the New York Post. Of course, Denver is led by a mayor who's a complete unhinged radical jackass. The gang has a history of flooding other countries with military-age Venezuelan males to establish a base of operation to carry out violent crimes in those countries. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas pointed out. Now, the Biden administration, knowing this, nevertheless allowed the group to come into the United States, where they are now set up shop. They say in 16 states, I just read in 20 states, and have already been tied to hundreds of crimes, including the shooting of 2 New York Police Department officers in June. And of course, most recently, they tortured 2 people, including pulling out their fingernails 2 days ago in Aurora, Colorado. Now, how did the Biden administration do this? According to the Center for Immigration Reform, the major driver of the Venezuelan migration to the U.S. has been policies that allow illegal aliens to enter, be released, and work in the United States. Many Venezuelan nationals are taking advantage of the Biden administration's illegal categorical parole program, announced in late 2022. And under this program, Venezuelans and dual citizens of Venezuela can fly directly into the United States. You know, this is where they have apps given out by our government, the regime. They can fly directly into the United States without a visa, so they aren't vetted. Furthermore, the Biden administration has designated redesignated Venezuela for temporary protected status, TPS, which blocks the government from deporting Venezuelan nationals and offers them work permits. This has incentivized more Venezuelans to come to the U.S. because they anticipate similar treatment. It's indeed impossible to see the invasion at the border as anything other than planned by the Biden administration when Venezuela began to empty its prisons and criminals 2 years ago. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security, aware that criminals were heading to the U.S. border, gave the United States Border Patrol instructions to look for violent criminals from Venezuela entering the country. Now, if the Biden administration had wanted to stop the invasion, in the words of the House of Representatives Troy Niels, he said, for starters, he can use Section 212F of the Immigration Nationality Act. It says whenever the president finds that an entry of any aliens or of any class of aliens into the U.S. would be detrimental to the interests of the U.S., he may, by proclamation, and for such period as he deems necessary, suspend the entry of such aliens. Instead, Biden invites them. And he goes on. We have this problem with this Venezuelan international terrorist gang, their torture, their murder, their stealing, their rape, because Biden let them in. Because Biden let them in, and yet these senators, time I'm trying to destroy Pete Hegseth, and they are trying to save our country from Venezuelan gangs. A couple years ago, I said this is an impeachable offense. No, we're chasing the 100. We got, 10%, then the public, their eyes are rolling over. I'm just being honest. I said, no, this is a high crime. This is an attack on our society. And ladies and gentlemen, even with deportations and all the rest, it's impossible to put the toothpaste back into the tube completely. I read today that the American Criminal Liberties Union, the ACLU, is giving legal advice and training to so-called nonprofit ethnic front organizations so they can bring an endless number, an infinite number of lawsuits in one community after another to try and prevent the Trump administration from deporting anybody. Again, the enemy within. This is what's meant by the enemy within. I'll be right back.
What? News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
Auto parts. You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Likes it just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, can't get a checkout. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336, 800-444-9336, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-444-9336.
Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
As a young adult at this point in your life, you probably have a lot of questions. Like, what's next? What does my future hold? The thing is, there's no right answer, only your answer. Your friendships, experiences, and purpose. It's all your choice. So what will you choose? As you make choices about the future, the military can be a resource for information to help bring a fulfilling path into focus. A public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit todaysmilitary.com.
Would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. You can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align. Because when we come together, and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit makeawish.wish.org.
Babies in their mother's wombs could speak. What do you think they'd say? Hi, this is Mark Levin. Did you know an unborn baby's heart is already beating at just 3 weeks? By 5 weeks, you can hear the heartbeat on ultrasound, and that's where Preborn's network of clinics step in. The heartbeat is the voice of the preborn, and you can share their voice in a big way. Preborn is the country's largest provider of free ultrasounds, and every day they rescue 200 babies' lives. For just $28, you can provide one free ultrasound to save a child's life. $140 will help rescue 5 babies' lives. And now for a match, your gift is doubled, saving twice as many babies' lives. Just dial pound 250 on your cell and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250 baby. Or visit preborn.com/mark. That's preborn.com/mark. Preborn has a 100% charity rating and is a 501c3 organization. You'll never regret saving a baby's life, folks. Please go to preborn.com/mark today.
Making sense of your world.
I don't know where to begin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Thanks for taking my call.
Making sense of the news.
WMAL, making sense of the headlines, because common sense isn't so common. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Sort of hoarding terrorists, gang members, murderers, rapists, God knows what. Remember when John McCain used to say, we need people to pick our lettuce. Who's going to pick our lettuce? We're a little beyond that now. But in the same vein, this issue of birthright citizenship that I've been talking about for well over a decade, writing about it, it's become a big issue. It should be a big issue. This needs to be confronted. I don't know what the Supreme Court will do. They may duck it. They may make the wrong decision, but that's where it's going to wind up, and better now than later. Tom Holman's on the Constipated News Network with one of the most constipated-looking hosts, Caitlin Collins. There she is, and of course this issue comes up. Cut 10, go.
He believes that birthright citizenship must end. Obviously, that is no easy feat, given it is enshrined in the Constitution. But we'll see.
One more time. Why are these people so stupid? Caitlin, why are you an ignoramus? Why are you a moron? It's enshrined in the Constitution. It's not enshrined in the Constitution. Did a whole monologue on this. I've done multiple shows on this, on radio and TV, Blaze. They lie about this all the time. First of all, they don't care about the Constitution. Secondly, they lie about what's in it. Go ahead.
Put in his orbit, direct immigration officials to stop giving out documents like passports or social security cards to babies who are born on U.S. soil, to parents who aren't documented?
I think that's up to the courts. I think it needs to be held by the Supreme Court. I kind of disagree with you. I don't think it's enshrined in the Constitution at all, not the way I read it. But then again, I'm not a constitutional scholar. We'll let the courts decide that on the birthright citizenship. I'll say this. It's a major driver, a major magnet for illegal immigration. And under this administration, you got a record number of illegal aliens that dying crossing the border. You got a record number of Americans dying of fentanyl coming across the border. You got a 600% increase in sex trafficking. So we got to stop these magnets. We got to stop rewarding illegal behavior, because that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, of course, it's the 14th Amendment, as you know.
It's the 14th Amendment. I'm demanding a correction by Caitlin Collins and CNN. 14th Amendment and birthright citizenship. And what is it about it? What is it? It doesn't say there's birthright citizenship in America. 14th Amendment Citizenship Clause provides not just that all children born in America. That's not what it says. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and then it goes on, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, as we discussed, but I will do a 2 or 3 minute primer for morons like Caitlin Collins. The jurisdiction thereof. You don't get to create your own jurisdiction. What they meant by the jurisdiction thereof was not the geography of the United States. Somebody's born here, they're a citizen because of the geography of the United States. They meant the allegiance to, part of the society, part of the culture of the United States. Students who visit the United States and have a baby, their babies aren't American citizens. Tourists who come, their babies aren't American citizens if they have them here. Diplomats, same thing. So why does it apply to illegal aliens? It doesn't. The 14th Amendment wasn't passed. It had nothing. When it was passed, it had nothing to do with immigration and everything to do with slavery. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof was applying to free black slaves, because there were some states in the Confederacy, the old Confederacy, that were not accepting the fact that they lost the war and that citizenship does in fact apply to now free black men and women. That's what that clause had to do with. It's one of the post-Civil War amendments, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Again, no reference to immigration. In the legislative language, no mention of immigration. In the 1866 Civil Rights Act, the first of its kind in American history, that is considered the basis for the 14th Amendment. It explained that it did not apply to people other than free black slaves. It didn't even apply to Indians back then, Native Americans. Didn't apply to anybody else. They were talking about black people who had been here and had been enslaved. That's it. And for several decades afterwards, that's how the Supreme Court interpreted it. In fact, that's how every court interpreted it, till 1898 in another decision, which that court held wrongly, that the children of lawful immigrants were citizens. There's nothing in this Constitution, nothing in the 14th Amendment that says the children of illegal aliens are citizens by the nature of their birth here. Nothing. There's not a federal statute that says that. There's not a Supreme Court decision that says that. There's nothing. Period. So she just flips it on it. We know the 14th Amendment. Snarky and stupid. It's a bad combination. Snarky and stupid. And yet that is essentially Caitlin Collins, and arrogant about it. Yeah, of course, it's the 14th Amendment, as you know. Mr. Producer, would you invite Caitlin Collins on the program? As pointless as that phone call or text or email will be, let's invite her on. Tell her I would like to discuss the language of the 14th Amendment with her, as you know. As she knows. So that's baloney. But it goes on. Cut 11, go.
So when you argued recently about, when you were asked about family separation, you said families can be deported together. That's how you would avoid that. I mean, you're saying that U.S. citizen, that U.S. born child would have the choice to either go with their parents or to stay here in the United States without their parents.
Let's stop a minute. Again, here's a person who's supposed to be a journalist who basically believes that her job is to prosecute the left-wing agenda. That's her job. Now, you see how it's all mushed together? So a baby, a person who's born in the United States from these parents, who's now a U.S. citizen, they can be deported, the whole family, including the U.S. citizen? Well, they're not a U.S. citizen under the Constitution. They're a U.S. citizen under the way people have been interpreting it, the bureaucracy, and politicians have been interpreting it. But nonetheless, how many times do I have to point this out? When you send a parent off the prison, when you send a January 6er off the prison for daring to trespass on Capitol Hill grounds, no violence, nothing physical, and they have a child. Let's say that parent is an illegal immigrant. They have a child in the United States. Collins says that's a citizen. Do you see her crying about that individual? Concerned about that individual? All right, let's forget about January 6th. Let's go through our local prisons, our state prisons, our county prisons, our federal prisons, filled with illegal migrants who've had children in the United States. What about them? We've just separated them from their children. We'll have Holman's answer when we return. I'll be right back. The Christmas and Hanukkah season is a time of hope and peace for many of us. But for those in Israel facing the ongoing war, it's a time of fear and uncertainty. The hardships are felt by everyone, with many people struggling to afford food and basic necessities. During this holiday season, many living through the war in the Holy Land are grieving the loss of loved ones while also enduring isolation and hunger. We must not let them feel forgotten by the rest of the world. And that's why I'm partnering with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. Your special holiday gift to the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews helps provide a Hanukkah food box filled with basic necessities and essentials to help bring nourishment, warmth, and comfort to someone in desperate need. Give the gift of hope and answered prayers this holiday season, please. Call 844-866-IFCJ and make a tax-deductible gift today. That's 844-866-IFCJ, 844-866-IFCJ, and may God bless you.
Need parts now? O'Reilly offers in-store pickup, same-day home delivery, or next-day home shipping. Get more parts your way at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Making sense of the headline. Listen to this. It's stunning. O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor.
Days 5 to 9 a.m.
We'll be covering it for you live, as we always do.
News Talk 105.9.
WNAL.
Making sense of the news.
Sense of the headline.
I've been a member of the so-called mainstream news media myself for the better part of 2 decades. Here's the bottom line.
Chris Plan.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Crave the thrill of the close? Want to be a legend? Benevolent Media Dallas, home of award-winning New Country 96.3 KNCS and 99.5 The Wolf KPLX, is searching for a general sales manager to manage 2 of the top stations in the market. We offer a competitive salary, amazing benefits, and a chance to be part of a winning team. Ready to join the force? Visit cumulusmedia.com/careers to apply. That's cumulusmedia.com/careers. Cumulus Media is proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
What happens when a liberal and conservative get together?
Is there one thing that you respect about the way that I see the world?
No. Often in America, strangers with different political views are coming together to talk about their lives, not politics, and discovering they actually have a lot in common.
You said that you want the best for this country. I respect that, and I agree.
So let's talk for a change. Learn more at takeonesmallstep.org.
The Cumulus Podcast Network featuring the biggest names in talk.
Hello, Mark Levin here.
Rich Valdez.
Rich Valdez here with you.
Dan Bongino.
Folks, nothing is working.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Professional cab driver. Professional cab driver party. Drinking responsibly is knowing your limits. If you are over yours, ask Artie or someone like Artie to get you home safely. To learn more about drinking responsibly, go to beforeyoudrink.org.
So, you think I could take your number 26 Crown Royal race car for a spin?
Would you get out of there?
Be a champion responsibly. This message has been brought to you by the Century Council.
This is my new best friend, Esther. She might look like any normal, playful puppy, but Esther's being raised to become a canine companion for independent assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of love and care and attention, plenty of exercise, and good eating habits so that she can live a long and healthy life for her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK. Raise a puppy, change a life. You can make a world of difference in the life of a person with a disability.
Making sense of your morning. What's the big news? Honor and Company with Larry O'Connor. There's a lot going on here. Let's get right into it. Weekday mornings, 5 to 9.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of party politics.
Mark Levin.
This is why people don't have trust in their government.
Weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
This is the unvarnished truth.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
To be a part of the conversation because that's what makes us different than all of the rest of the media.
O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 9. Good morning, Larry.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world.
There are a lot of things that really tick me off. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
WMAL. Making sense of world events. Because those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Within. Well, I'm there, I'm all right. Call him now. 877-381-311.
All right, I want to update you folks. There was a vote that just took place on this package that the speaker put together with the approval of President Trump and others. And the House rejected it. The House rejected it as the Associated Press writes, the day before a potential government shutdown, the House resoundingly rejected, as they write it, President-elect Donald Trump's new plan Thursday to fund operations to suspend the debt ceiling, as Democrats and dozens of Republicans refused to accommodate his demand. In a hastily convened evening vote, punctuated by angry outbursts over the self-made crisis, the lawmakers failed to reach the two-thirds threshold needed for passage. But House Speaker Mike Johnson appeared determined to reassess before Friday's midnight deadline. Folks, if the government shuts down, the government doesn't shut down. The government never shuts down. About 70% of it shuts down. Now, Biden will try to make it as painful as possible, as Obama did. But we will survive. Pension checks will go out, Social Security, Medicare, veterans benefits will continue, so forth and so on. Coming in. The revenue keeps coming in. Close to $400 billion a month. A month. It's not that they don't have enough money, it's that they want more. And so they'll try to make it as painful as possible. The media will make it as painful as possible. This is the way it's worked for a quarter of a century. This is what they do. Actually, for half a century. For half a century. So, the vote was 235 against, 174 for. That's a big spread. Then they write the outcome proved a massive setback for Trump and his billionaire ally Elon Musk, who rampaged, just listen to language, against Johnson's bipartisan compromise, which Republicans and Democrats had reached earlier to prevent a Christmas time government shutdown. Now, if you're writing for Pravda or Al Jazeera, this guy's great. Who is, let's see here, the Associated, not signed. Oh, yes, it is. Lisa Mascaro and Kevin Freaking. Yeah, you're not kidding. Good propagandists. He said, did Johnson, we're going to regroup and we will come up with another solution. So stay tuned. Did you tell me Mike Lee's out there saying that Vivek Ramaswamy or Elon Musk should be the new speaker, Mr. Producer? Do these fools in the Senate understand? We have to have enough Republicans, among others, in the House to install a speaker? So because Mike Lee and Rand Paul make a declaration about who should be speaker? I mean, what is this, just to beat your own chest? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They got a lot to do in the Senate there, too. Why don't they pay attention to their own jobs? It would be nice. It wouldn't matter who the speaker is. I don't know how many more times we have to go through this crap. I really don't. People who self-proclaim to be smart aren't so smart. Who's going to be speaker? Who is it? Who's going to pull this together? I mean, come on, this is so stupid. We go over this over and over and over again. And these senators who are so good and so tough, they come in, oh, I want Elon Musk. I want Vivek Ramaswamy. Good for you. Sit down and shut up. Here we had a bill supported strongly by the speaker, by the president, by the vice president, that's JD and Trump, and Elon Musk, and it failed. Now you got to figure out how you're going to get a bill that's going to pass, that's going to do what we wanted to do. I have an idea. Let's replace the speaker. Stupid. All you do is chew up each other. You chew up each other. You get nowhere. And you know what? We're going to go after Chip Roy. No, we're not. I'm not. Either we unite, we get strong, we embrace our principles, we go to the public, we make our case, and we go up the hill, we fight up the hill time and time and time again. We don't shoot each other in the back. What the hell is this? Over at the Senate, you got senators telling us who the speaker should be when they couldn't even get their man Ron Johnson. But don't worry, we know what the House should do. It's just cheap politics. It's pointless. Pointless. Now we have a problem on our hands. How do we get a good bill passed? Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Uh-oh. You ready for this, Mr. Producer? Let the government shut down. For a few days, a week, a few weeks, let it shut down. That's how you get the kind of momentum you need to get to the kind of deal that we need. An 80% deal. It's okay. We'll survive. It's shut down 20 times since 1974. It's okay. Shut down 6 times under Reagan. He won by 2 landslides. It's okay. Donald Trump has made the point. It's okay, too. He said, shut it down. We can't allow the left and the Democrats to push the agenda. It's not a matter of who the speaker is. It's a numbers issue. If you're a conservative, if you're a constitutionalist, then you're with me. If you're a big mouth, if you like to be center ring and draw attention to yourself and just spit out stupid stuff, then you're with them. It's that simple. Now, you really want to fix things, you get behind Convention of States. I don't think Rand Paul's behind Convention of States. I don't think Mike Lee's behind Convention of States. Maybe I'm 5 years behind the curve. Maybe they are now, but they weren't. You ever hear them talk about it? See, I'm not one of those that thinks Washington can fix Washington. I think we can make Washington do things it needs to do, but it's not going to fix the situation. I think we, the people, through our legislatures, as the framers intended, we have to take control of what the hell's going on. We've got to put in place barriers, bumpers, governors to control Congress, to control the executive branch, Convention of States. Andy Biggs opposes it, but he's a good Freedom Caucus guy. I haven't heard Mike Lee talk about it. I think he was opposed to it, unless he's changed his position. Rand Paul's out there in Never Never Land. I don't know what the hell he thinks. But they're not getting us anywhere, are they? Are they? And even if we win on this continuing resolution, you understand, folks, that this is a pittance compared to what goes on with the entitlements? So what are their position on the entitlements? What do they want to, what's Rand Paul want to do about it? Or Mike? Or Biggs? What do they want to do? Where's their proposal? I'd like to read them. I'd like to talk about them. Social Security's gone broke. Medicare's gone broke. Those programs, plus Medicaid, plus the Children's Health Program and Obamacare, they take up all these so-called entitlements, 77% of the budget. 77%. So continuing resolution, it's peanuts compared to everything else. It's a good start, don't get me wrong. But what do they want to do about that? Absolutely nothing. Okay. We're going to spend another 3 weeks on the speaker issue? That's stupid. And Trump praised the speaker. I mean, Johnson saw the writing on the wall, immediately moved and put together Plan B. He met with J.D. Vance. He spoke to some of the others. Ramaswamy, they put together their plan, which is really the Trump plan for the most part. And he had a whole bunch of Republicans that voted against it. Now, I reject that. I think we need to know who they are. Even if they're friends of mine, even if I don't agree that we should primary them, maybe we should primary some of them. I don't know. But we needed this win. We needed it. And we didn't get it. We didn't get it. This is why I'm not loved up there on Capitol. I'm not loved because I call it as I see it. I see the showboats that'll get us nowhere. They like to throw stink bombs every now and then, but they're not going to actually do anything. Or they talk about the other body, like they have some control over the other body. They have no control over the other body, but it gets a headline or, 5,000 hits on the internet. That's pretty cool. But it gets us nowhere. Zero. It's very frustrating to me to watch this. As a old Reaganite, as a constitutional conservative, as somebody who's written book after book after book on what I think we need to do, these guys on the Hill, they don't want to do what we need to do. It's been laid out. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Tell me, who is the last conservative House or Senate member who's proposed a constitutional amendment that takes a Milton Friedman idea, a brilliant idea that limits the growth of government to the growth of the percentage of the GDP? Tell me, who's introduced that? To my knowledge, nobody. Nobody. Tell me, who's introduced a bill that reforms Social Security in particular. Grandfathers in anybody 55 and older, so that's not an issue. They've been made promises, but everybody under that age, to reform the program so it survives. Who's introduced that bill? To my knowledge, nobody. Nobody. Why? It's easier to call for the head of the speaker. It's easy to call for 1,000 other things. It's political dynamite. That's why. And yet these are the things that need to be done. Now, these are the things that need to be done. And I go on down the list. If you pull out my book, and you don't have to, just as a thought, Plunder and Deceit, it lays out all the... And then if you pull out a book that I wrote a bit later, the Liberty Amendments, then we get them, well, I don't know about a convention of the states. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. Well, what do you know? You know nothing. Congress is not going to reform itself. Hello, it is not going to do it. Now, we can work on the fringes. We can work on the CRs. I got it. I'm all in favor of it. But if you actually want to save the republic, you're going to have to do a little bit more. And I don't care if you replace the speaker 1,000 times. You're still going to have to do a little bit more. Well, MAGA's done it again with the presidential victory and the red wave sweeping the House and the Senate. We, the people, have done what we're supposed to do. Conservatives are back in the driver's seat. As the fight to restore America begins, now is not the time to get giddy. Look what they're doing. You have a chance to be part of this movement, not just as a voter, but as a member of a powerful organization that takes its marching orders directly from you. Now, this is basically the anti-AARP. It's called AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. And you don't have to even be a senior citizen to join. When you join, for $1 for your first year, and that ends on December 31st. That ends in 11 days. You get unbelievable discounts and benefits for travel, for hotels, for insurance. And the list goes on and on and on. You'll never, ever again see such a great benefit and value. But AMAC is the conservative choice. We stand for faith, family, and freedom, and we're fighting for those values to make America great. We're fighting for those values against the AARP and other radical left organizations. Join AMAC today. Join me for only $1 for your first year. And this offer ends December 31st, as I said. It ends very soon. Join AMAC today. Help us continue the fight for a brighter, freer future. Go to amac.us/Levin, amac.us/Levin. Claim your $1 membership. Get the benefits. Get the discounts. $1. And join an organization that fights for you. That's amac.us/Levin. Because together we can keep the momentum going. Because if we don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. That's what today's lesson is. I'll be right back.
What? News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Powerful perspective you won't get anywhere else.
It's kind of amazing. You don't see this sort of thing every day.
News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news. Making sense of Washington.
I'll be the one to speak the truth on this.
Mark Levin, days 6 to 9 p.m.
We're living in crazy land.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Social media.
There's no end to the ways you can undermine our culture.
Mark Levin.
Weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Let's talk about that.
News Talk 105.9.
WM.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of your world.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is.
Mark Levin.
Weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Listen to this, would you?
News Talk 105.9.
WM.
Making sense of the news.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good.
Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Updating you on the stories happening while you work.
Apparently, Joe Biden was talking about artificial intelligence. He claims he saw an AI video of himself recently.
Vince Colonnade.
Here he is at the White House.
Deepfakes use AI-generated audio and video to smear reputations, speak, spread fake news, and commit fraud.
Oh my gosh. Can the AI video speak in complete sentences? That'd be an improvement over the real thing.
Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
Vince Colonnade.
News Talk 105.9.
WNAL.
Making sense of the news.
Happens when a liberal and conservative get together?
Is there one thing that you respect about the way that I see the world?
No. All over America, strangers with different political views are coming together to talk about their lives, not politics, and discovering they actually have a lot in common.
You said that you want the best for this country. I respect that, and I agree.
So let's talk for change. Learn more at takeonesmallstep.org.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, the Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
Draymond Green has a podcast. He was asking Mark Cuban why at the beginning of 2024, Cuban sold a huge part of his company.
Like, did you see how much money I got? I'm sure there's a more graceful answer than that. But dude, I bought it for $200 million and sold it for $6 billion. Like, what?
Yeah. I don't think it was that much more graceful than that.
By searching the Stacking Benjamin podcast, wherever you listen.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no coverage at all. These days, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of the biggest expenses can be your car, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan. You could save thousands with one call to CarShield. Call 800-898-6155 now to see if you qualify. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Repairs for your engine, transmission, and more can become a thing of the past. Plus, call 800-898-6155 right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options. Call 800-898-6155 today and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Just call 800-898-6155 to see if your car qualifies. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155. Coverage varies by plans. Your contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Making sense of your world.
Greatly appreciate it.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
I love listening to you.
Making sense of the news.
Tomorrow on the Chris Plank Show, the Democrat Party is so anti-man that now kids can spell woman W-O-M-Y-N. 9 a.m. on WMAL.
The Democrats voted, I think, to a man, a woman, and a transitioning individual against this, a clean continuing resolution. They wanted all this stuff in it. And now people know what Republican speakers have to deal with. They have to deal with these diabolical saboteurs. That's what they have to deal with. J.D. Vance says the Democrats just voted to shut down the government, even though we had a clean CR, because they didn't want to give the president negotiating leverage during his first term or during the first year of his new term. Exactly. Exactly. That's what they are. They're no damn good. You see what the Federal Reserve did days after President Trump's victory, and you see what they did yesterday. They lowered interest rates. Quarter point, then another quarter point, because they know the economy sucks. They're worried about that. We're seeing all kinds of shifts in the markets. In fact, the stock market went down 11 days in a row. Today it's stuck. That's right, by 15 points, which is nothing. So I urge everyone to diversify, to protect your own money. And when you diversify, certainly consider gold as one of your financial shields. Gold has weathered every kind of economic downturn throughout history. You should call Advantage Gold. That's my gold company. I've dealt with the others. They're the best. 800-900-8000. 800-900-8000. Get a free gold investment kit to see how you can get started with gold. And I recommend Advantage Gold to anybody who is serious about this. Again, 800-900-8000. Get your free investment kit. Might even qualify for up to $1,000 in free silver. That's 800, 900, 8,000. Call them now. They're there. Tell them Mark Levin sent you. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional. I promised you, even though we're out of time, I go back to Tom Holman. Here's cut 11. Go.
So when you argued recently about, when you were asked about family separation, you said families can be deported together. That's how you would
She's so monotonous.
I mean, you're saying that U.S. citizen, that U.S. born child would have the choice to either go with their parents or to stay here in the United States without their parents.
That's the decision of the parents. And again, we can't send a message to the whole world that you can circumvent our laws by simply having a U.S. citizen child when you know you're here illegally. They made that decision. They put their families in that position, not us. We're going to force the laws enacted by Congress and signed by the president. If people don't like the laws, they can certainly have the laws changed by Congress. What we're going to do what the American people want us to do, enforce the laws enacted by Congress.
Right, that's an excellent answer. But my response would also be, how come you never talk about the well-being of the American citizen who didn't violate the law? The adult American citizen who didn't violate the law. How come you never talk about them? And what is CNN's policy for securing the border? What is CNN's policy for removing people who shouldn't be here? Should they not be removed? What is CNN's policy for removing criminals and terrorists? Does CNN know where 325,000 unaccompanied minors are? Does CNN know where all these women are who've been sold into sex slavery and pornography? All these women who've been raped? Does CNN keep numbers? Does CNN even have people on the border taking pictures of this stuff? No. They're sleazeballs. Ladies and gentlemen, we salute our armed forces, police officers, firefighters, emergency personnel, our truckers. We're with the people in Ukraine, the people in Israel, and of course you, the American people. We're going to keep an eye on this Congress. We're not going to just roll over and play dead and play games. We're going to keep an eye on it.
Making sense of your world.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
I'm great for what's going on.
Making sense of the news.
You crave the thrill of the close? Want to be a legend? Cumulus Media Dallas, home of award-winning New Country 96.3 KFCS and 99.5 The Wolf KPLX, is searching for a general sales manager to manage two of the top stations in the market.
All right, last call. I'm shutting this stream down. My meter reads 0, but I'm in Vegas chat, and I got Dwayne. His face is fucking planted right into the ground. All right, I got him going in Vegas. I'll be back later.